Hello everyone. So when you hear the word hacking, what's the first image that pops into your head? Probably someone in a dark room wearing a hoodie, typing hundreds of lines of code on a black screen, right? Now here's the truth. Not every hack starts with a code. Some hacks start with something much simpler. A text, a phone call, a friendly email, even a conversation. That's what we call social engineering. Let's start with a clear definition. Social engineering is the art of manipulating people so they give up confidential information, things like passwords, OTPs, or personal details. In simple terms, it's not computers being hacked, it's people being tricked. Let's take an example. You get a call that says, "Hi, I'm from your bank. We detected suspicious activity. Please confirm your OTP so we can secure your account." You panic, you share it. Just like that, your money is gone. The hacker didn't write a single line of code. They didn't break your firewall, they simply hacked you. That's why in cybersecurity we say the weakest link in any system is the human. Now, in the world of network security, we often talk about some protecting confidentiality, integrity, and availability, the CIA triad. Confidentiality means your data should stay private. Integrity means it shouldn't be altered without permission. Availability means it should be accessible when needed. Social engineering attack social engineering attacks directly violate confidentiality because you end up handing over data voluntarily. And once the attackers in, integrity and availability fail too. So while cryptography protects data and transmission or storage, social engineering attacks the data before it even gets encrypted, right at the source, the human. Now let's break how this whole thing works, because once you understand the flow, you'll see how it connects with network and cryptographic systems. Before attacking a system, a hacker first gathers information. In the cyber world, this is called reconnaissance. They stalk your Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. They learn your company name, your college, your hobbies, your friends, your tone of message. Every post you make is like a breadcrumb leading to your identity. In network security, reconnaissance is like port scanning. Just like a hacker scans ports to find open vulnerabilities, they scan your social media to find human vulnerabilities. This state is purely about data collection, and the attacker hasn't even attacked yet. Second one, once step two, establishing trust, which is authentication bypass. Once they have your data, they start impersonating someone you trust, a friend, a company, your HR, your bank, or even your university admin. They'll use realistic details like your name or recent events you posted about sound convincing. This is called pretexting, creating a believable story to manipulate trust. Now, here's where it links with cryptography and network security. Normally, when a computer connects to another computer, it uses authentication protocols like passwords, OTPs, and additional certificates to verify identity. Humans, however, rely on emotional authentication. We verify someone's identity based on how convincing they sound, not based on digital proof. So while cryptography uses keys to verify identity, social engineers use words. They're essentially performing a man-in-the-middle attack on human trust. They don't break your password; they convince you to give it. Step three: creating urgency or fear. Once trust is established, the attacker adds pressure. They'll say things like, "Your account will be locked in 10 minutes. We found unusual activity. Click now to avoid deactivation." This uses psychological manipulation, specifically fear and urgency. When fear takes over, your rational thinking shuts down. You stop verifying and you start reacting. In cybersecurity, this is comparable to denial of service attacks. They overwhelm the system, in this case, your brain, so you can't respond properly. It's emotional overload instead of packet overload. Hackers know that the more rushed or scared you are, the less likely you are to check a link or think logically. Step 4, making you act quickly. Finally, they push for action. Click a link, download a file, share OTP, or transfer money. Once you do that, they have succeeded. They've gained access, just like an attacker gaining unauthorized access to a system. Network security, access control involves three principles: authentication, authorization, and accounting. Verifying who you are, deciding what you can do, and tracking what happens. Social engineering attacks breaks all three. They trick you into authenticating the attacker, authorizing their actions, and leaving no proper accounting trail. Now let's look at the major categories of social engineering. Each ties into a network security vulnerability. First one, phishing. You've seen these. Dear customer, your bank account is suspended. Click here to reactivate. These emails often have perfect logos, even realistic looking domains. Phishing works because it spoofs identity. It forges the sender's email address. In technical terms, phishing attacks exploit weak or missing email authentication mechanisms. Things like SPF, Sender Policy Framework, DKIM, Domain Keys Identified, and DMARC, Domain Based Message Authentication. If those aren't configured properly, anyone can send an email pretending to be from your organization. So phishing is essentially a cryptographic failure of authentication at the human layer. Then we have vishing. Voice phishing happens when someone calls pretending to be from a trusted source. They may say, "This is your bank verification officer," or "I'm from your university's tech support." You'll notice they always sound confident and official. This attack bypasses the two-factor authentication because you voluntarily confirm the second factor, the OTP. From a security perspective, it's a social bypass of multi-factor authentication, MFA. Even if your bank uses encrypted systems and secure servers, once you tell the OTP yourself, the encryption is meaningless because encryption only protects data in transit, not what you willingly handle. Smishing, which is SMS phishing. SMS scams are another layer, short, casual, and fast. Messages like your package is on hold, pay 50 rupees customs fees, or update your PAN card to avoid account suspensions. They use hiding malicious links when shortened URLs like bit.ly or fake domains. Once you click, malware installs or credentials are stolen. From a network security perspective, this uses the same principle as DNS spoofing, redirecting you to a fake site that looks real. And we have several other physical or psychological variants: baiting, quid pro quo, and tailgating. So, baiting is when we get messages like free USB drive or free movie download that actually contains malware. This exploits the human version of malware injection, curiosity. And then we have something called tailgating, following someone into a secure area without credentials, equivalent to unauthorized access without authentication tokens. Every single one of these connects back to core security principles: confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and access control. Now, why do these scams still work, even on smart people? Because hackers understand one thing better than we do: human behavior. We trust quickly. Humans are wired for social cooperation. We believe people who sound confident. In network security, this is like having a firewall that lets all traffic through just because it looks normal. Second, we panic easily. Fear overrides logic. Hackers know that emotion is stronger than reason. Third, we think we are safe. It can't happen to me. That's a human version of a network running without intrusion detection. And fourth, we are always in a hurry. Hackers rely on the fact that we don't double check domains, numbers, or sources. In other words, humans skip verification protocols that computers strictly follow. Social engineering is half psychology, half cybersecurity. Let's break down the main emotional triggers and link them to how security systems defend against similar logic flaws. We have four different emotions: fear, curiosity, greed, and urgency. For fear, the technical analogy is that denial of service attack overwhelms your thinking progress. And for curiosity, we have buffer overflow, where we exceed safe limits of logic. And for greed, we have exploiting unvalidated input, which is trusting what shouldn't be trusted. And for urgency, we have time-based race condition, forcing a quick action before verification. You see, emotions are vulnerabilities, and awareness acts like a security patch for the human brain. Let's look at how these play out in real life. WhatsApp jump scams. You get a message saying work from home, 5,000 rupees for liking videos. They ask for a small registration fee, and once you pay, they vanish. This uses social validation and fake branding to trick students. It's a psychological phishing attack exploiting financial desperation. And we have fake codes in cafes. Scammers print their own QR codes and stick them over real payment codes. You scan it and pay them instead of the cafe. From a network perspective, this is DNS spoofing in the physical world, redirecting data to a malicious address. Always verify the recipient's name before paying. Encryption doesn't help here. You encrypted the wrong target. And then we have Instagram blue tick scams. Get verified for 2000 rupees. Fake Instagram agents send links asking for login info or payments. Here, the attacker bypasses authentication and session management by getting credentials directly. Once inside, they hijack your session. That's a session hijacking attack. Now that you know how it all works, let's talk about defense mechanisms, the human version of firewalls and encryption. Think first one. Think before you click. Just like a network checks incoming packets and checks incoming messages, If it's too urgent or emotional, it's probably a red flag. Second, stop, think, and verify. Before acting, verify the source. If your bank calls, hang up and call the number of the official website. Verification is a human equivalent of digital signature validation. And prove authenticity before you act. Third one, never share OTPs or passwords. In cryptography, OTP means one-time password. It's a temporary encryption key. Sharing it is like giving away your private key. No system, no bank, no HR department will ever ask for it. Fourth, don't click unknown links. Hover over links and read the domain. Paytm login.xyz is not paytm.com. Think of URLs like encryption certificates. Tiny mismatches can expose fraud. Fifth one, use two-factor authentication. This is like adding an extra lock on your door. Even if someone steals your password, they can't get in without your phone. And cryptography, this is multi-layered encryption, also called defense in depth. And sixth, verify from official sources. If you get messages from authorities, don't respond on the same thread. Call or email using official channels. This prevents man-in-the-middle attacks, where the attacker controls both sides of communications. Let's try everything together. Cryptography protects data mathematically. Social engineering attacks psychologically. When you encrypt a message using AES or RSA, you ensure that even if someone intercepts it, they can't read it. But what if you voluntarily give them the decryption? Then all encryption fails. That's the essence of this topic. Social engineering bypasses cryptography by targeting the human layer. Think of cybersecurity as a chain. Firewalls, encryptions, VPNs, MFA, all strong links. But the last link is you. And hackers know if they can break that link, the rest collapses. So, in real world cybersecurity, we now combine technical security with human security. That's why companies conduct phishing simulations and awareness trainings because the human factor is as important as any encryption algorithm. Let's take a message and test this. Hi, I'm from a university admin. Click here to update your exam details urgently. Now let's look at the red flags. We have a generic greeting. Hi, unofficial sender, unknown link, and an urgency tone. And when we come to the verdict, it's fake. This fails authentication, verification, and integrity checks, just like a computed digital packet. So let's end where we began. The easiest system to hack is not a computer, it's the human mind. You can encrypt your data, secure your Wi-Fi, enable NFA, and still fall for a scam if you let emotion take control. Technology protects systems, but awareness protects people. So remember, hackers don't always break in. Sometimes they just log in because you let them. Be alert, be aware, and most importantly, think before you click. Thank you.